Okay, welcome everybody. John Novak, Nexgen Software. Two things. Number one, get to the education page. From the education page, you're going to be able to open and read and learn our trading plan. And without going through it too quick, we give you everything that you need. All the rules for trading against the trend and with the trend. When high probability trades will happen and when low probability trades will happen. We'll also give you in the plan, some of the things that to look for, like divergence on all of your charts for when trend trades are going to end. And again, these are also, whenever a trend is going to end and you're at Fibonacci, these are the places we like to go the other way. So what I want to do real quick is give you a recap. Again, if you haven't been through it, go through these tutorials. There's an intro video, high probability trend trades, and then how to trade against the trend. And then probably more important than even that, I mean, they're all important, of course, but managing your trades, when to move your stops, when to take profits. So we're going to start off and just show you a couple of the high probability trades today. One of the first ones was a counter trend trade down here. Now, two things to notice with this trade. Number one, we had divergence, which is this negative number on all of our charts. Whenever we have divergence at fibs on all of our charts and a divergence pivot stop out, you'll see we have an opportunity for a counter trend trade. I do want to point out to you, if you did take a short trend trade here, that would have been an okay spot to take a trend trade. Again, we didn't have anything going really early, but if you did a trend trade there, it would have been good. If you would have done, a short trade up here, that would have been good. Again, trading with the trend is great, but you have to know when it's going to end. And when it's going to end will give you the opportunity to go the other way. Just a real quick nuance I want to show you. Notice this small trigger line. It got above the synthetic triggers. And, really, this is the first time where you can even think about doing a counter trend trade. And again, it's subtle, but I'll show you the difference here. So you got to at least have your small triggers get above your synthetic triggers, pivot stop out at fibs, and then we get a long trade and obviously make some money to the upside. Now, one of two things is going to happen. Traditionally, when we have divergence on all of our charts, we're not taking trend trades anymore. That's it. We usually go, the trend will change. So, with that, you can see our trend did change. And really, I mean, this is so directly right out of our tutorials. No divergence on the highs, and we pull back into a trend trade long look, and then take that up pretty easily for 20 ticks to Fibonacci resistance. Now, one of the other things that you will learn in our plan, and it's really, really simple concepts, but if we have a large gap back to our synthetic triggers, and again, just go through the plan, you'll see, but on our large chart, if there's a big gap between our price and our synthetic triggers, traditionally when you have divergence on your small charts, you can go the other way if there's Fibonacci resistance. Now for us on our charts, let me just show them to you here side by side. You'll see we ended up with the big gap, which was over here on our larger chart. Unfortunately, there was no Fibonacci resistance on the small chart to trade from. So again, the big gap I think is really easy to see. Again, one of the things that we talk about in our trading plan is, and I like to show you where the plan is with this. If you have a large gap and the trigger lines roll over. So let me just show you what the setup looks like inside the plan. The big gap back to the triggers and the small triggers roll over, we can do a trend trade to get back to that gap. Well, as it happened today, we had the big gap and we had divergences on our smaller charts. So again, there was no real easy resistance to trade from. So with that, we waited for the trend to change. And again, if there was resistance up here, sure, you could have easily taken some shorts, but there wasn't, so we didn't. So you can see what happened. We actually took a trend trade from the 60 area. And again, these are the types of trades that we talk about in class and some of the ones that we do in class. And again, this is where, in this area we were short. And what we do is we pull our stops down after this little reversal bar. And you can see it got stopped out and ended up going up to the last spot, which was our resistance. So we ended up having to do this trade twice. And then obviously you can see we made it down, 20 ticks, give or take, is our target. 20, 25 ticks, that's usually good enough. And then we'll end up pulling back and getting another trend trade short. And again, I'll have these little circles on here so you can see what the large chart looks like at the same spot. Very, very strong triggers down, very favorable for the market going down. And again, we got down to a prior divergence low, and we pulled, one of our targets off here. And because our small triggers were still below, we were trailing stops behind our pivots. So again, unfortunately, they came back and got us, which happens. And then we get a second chance. So we got a trend trade from the last area. And that trend trade ran down and essentially took us down to prior lows and Fibonacci support. And then that was it. It was really the last one that we kind of did during the day today. So just let me squeeze it up for you so you can kind of see what the day looks like here. So again, one counter trend trade from Fibs long, one trend trade long. Again, this was pretty early in the morning. And then our large chart, larger gaps, and all these divergences up here kept us from doing long trades. And again, it's very tempting to do long trades when you see green on your small chart, but when your large chart says no, this is what usually happens. They battle it out, and one or two things going to happen. You're either going to break back above, and then we'll start doing more long trades, or trend will change. And again, we love it when trends change because it gives us the opportunity to evaluate. Again, no divergence on the lows, so we're going short. And again, it took us a couple attempts on this first one to make 20 ticks plus. Gave us a second attempt for 20 ticks and then a few ticks behind the pivot. And then the final trade actually took us down to our Fibonacci support area, which was our target down here at the 22, 23 area. So if you add up those high probability trades for today, you ended up with 6 trades, the potential for 6 trades, and really on 2 contracts, which you can trade with, $5,000 to $10,000 account. The profit potential on those trades was a little over $1,900. 83% winners, and probably more importantly than anything else, because of our management rules, our losing trade was $20, and our average winning trade was close to $200. So really good risk-reward ratio, really high winning percentage, and you can do this too. It's very simple. You just need to work your way through learning these tutorials, participate in our online class, and then also obviously learn the rules inside of our trading plan. If you don't have your demo going, fill out a demo form. We'll be more than happy to get you started and get you into our class, learning the rules, more importantly, getting feedback on the trades that you've done and making sure that your application of the rules is correct. Our software is the same for everybody. New users that have had our software for 15 or 20 years. The rules are the same, the software is the same. You're going to be the difference in the outcome. So let's get you in class, let's get you doing trades, let's get you learning the plan, and really get you to the point where you can have these high probability trades and be able to take them with a lot of confidence. Look forward to seeing everybody in class again tomorrow. Have a great evening.